Hello, people of Twitch. Good afternoon. It is the final live stream for 2021. So this is it. We're done after this. But I was watching the forums this week, and there's been a lot of stuff that's kind of hit it, and I think there's multiple reasons for it. One, people are gearing up to take time off for the rest of the year, so they've got time to kind of work on some of the stuff and fix some of the nuanced stuff that they've seen, you know, working from home, things like that. And, you know, it's a good time to sit down and do some maintenance on things and get things working a little bit better. And also maybe just get some new stuff set up that might help you out. So I'm going to cover a couple things. One, there's probably some older Lennar houses, there's probably some access points that's running 200.5. And that's a bit of a difficult thing to upgrade from. So you kind of have to do a local upgrade for it. So I'm going to walk you through the process on how you get into the support portal, create your account. Once you're in there, you can start to download software. I think you can download Unleash software as well, or ICX software. And then I'll show you how to do an offline upgrade. I'm not going to show you how to do an ICX upgrade. Those are pretty easy. We can do that next time, but some of the stuff with that now makes it a little bit more difficult. So I might encourage folks to at least use TFTPD 32 or 64 on their Windows machine to get that upgraded, and then uninstall it, because it does open up a UDP port on your machine. It's very insecure. And depending on the machine, if you're using a company image laptop, they might squawk at you for having that on there. So install it, get it on there, get it off. Even if it's a personal machine, uninstall it when you're done. You shouldn't have to do that more often. And we'll get you onto what's called target path. So it's the recommended software that support recommends for that type of ICX. So we'll get that running. Once we have that going, and that should be pretty quick, I'm going to show you how to do Bonjour Gateways. So I know a lot of folks have Apple TVs, Chromecast, things like that. If you're running multiple VLANs in your house, you're going to need a Bonjour Gateway, because you need to get that MDNS traffic back and forth between the two VLANs. You have to have a way to do that over Wi-Fi. The access point can do it. It's just called a Bonjour Gateway. We'll cover that. We're not going to cover fencing. So fencing is something that would be more for, you know, a bigger corporate environment where you need to kind of wall that stuff off and keep it off of certain physical access points in certain areas. But we're not going to cover that. I think that's out of scope, and you can't even set it up anyway. So, and then after that, we're going to go through and set up Wi-Fi calling profiles. So if you live in a neighborhood like I do, your cell service can be a little bit spotty. So we'll set up the calling profiles for all the carriers that I have a list for. And I can't take credit for the list, because James Richter, one of our developers, was kind enough to give me his list so that I could publish it here. It's very straightforward. It's very easy to do. But we just need to get that put in there, and then that way you have Wi-Fi calling. So basically what Wi-Fi calling is doing is your cell phone, when you go to make a phone call, it creates an IPsec tunnel out to the carrier. And when it does that, it basically, through that tunnel, then it just sends, you know, the call or your text messages or whatever you're doing through that tunnel. Well, once you build the profiles in, then it knows on the carrier end which server, we'll call it, the phone needs to connect to. And the phone knows because the carrier settings are in there. So it'll create that tunnel over Wi-Fi, and then your phone calls will use Wi-Fi to go out. So you should have great cell service inside your house when you do a Wi-Fi calling profile. And it should keep it pretty clean, do a good job of it. But keep in mind, it will handle your phone calls, and it will also handle SMS messages. So, and I believe iMessage as well. Things if you use like WhatsApp, Signal, things like that, those are going to use Wi-Fi anyways, or the carrier. But it'll all use Wi-Fi at that point. So if you have really bad cell service, it's a really good thing to set up. The other thing is the session is being recorded, so I can take this video, I'll put it on YouTube when I'm done, publish it there. And then you'll be able to get to it, reference it, everything else. Yeah, and go from there. So I know we're gearing up towards the end of the year. I hope everybody had, you know, as good of a year as you could, given all the crazy circumstances. So I'm glad you're all here. Keep in mind, use the forums. I put a link to them in chat. They're there. The forums are awesome. There's a Ruckus at Home section on there. I try to stay as active as I can in there. I had a weird issue yesterday. I couldn't post a reply to one thread. And Larry, I don't know if you're on here, but Alan had to post my response for you, but you got it working. So that actually gave me a lesson learned. I don't know if it was a one-off. I don't know if it's normal behavior, but we have it. So I'll go through that today. Okay. So let's get to it, because I have until 3:30 Mountain, and then I've got to be out of here. So use chat, ask questions, say hi, let me know you're out there. If you're not following, please follow. After the first of the year, we'll be back every Thursday. And honestly, I think I'm going to move the YouTube live streams off of YouTube onto Twitch as well. Mainly for a selfish reason. Trying to get my streaming software to flip back and forth between the two profiles has become pretty problematic and frustrating. So I think I'm just going to go that route. We'll do everything through Twitch. It's easier. It's more fun. You know, we get a different viewership in there, and it seems to work out really well. So yeah, and that's where we're at. So let's do this. I'm going to show you how to create your guest level account. Okay, so this doesn't get you much. I just want to make sure that you can get in and at least download software. That's the main thing. So we want to do that. And yeah, Pseudo Joe, that's right. They're all going up on YouTube. And that's the nice part too, because we do this and then the stream is gone and it's done. But I want you to be able to go back and reference it, because we do cover a lot of stuff on here that you might not do it today. You might do it next Wednesday, because that's your first day off before the holiday, and think, oh man, I can set up Wi-Fi calling. Go do it then. Done. Piece of cake. So, okay. And it's a raw recording. It's of the whole stream, but I'll try to start to use the chapter markers in there, because you can put timestamps in and it will take you to that section of the recording. It honestly really comes down to and depends on how much time I have when I put the recording together. So I can always go back and edit it. So anyways, I'll stop being busy and using terrible excuses. Okay. All right, let's do this. Let's go into the demo view. I'm going to create a guest account. I'm going to use my personal email address for it. So when I input my email address, and if it shows, and I'm probably going to pull that off the screen. But I just kind of want to go through this process. So this link here, because I'm special, I can put this in chat. You can't post links, but I can. If you need to post a link, let me know. I can't permit it. We're going to register for an account. That's it. Super simple, right? So guest level account. We can get download software updates for products, access to post to our support forums, and you can track your warranty registrations. So that's really all we need, right? At the home user level, that's what we need. So let's do it. All right. So first name. Yep, this is where I'm pulling it off. So all I'm going to do is accept all of this. I'll do, what the heck? Let's say this is IQO2ZV. Captures kill me. All right, I'm pulling this out real quick. Sorry. Actually, what I should have done is registered under the Ruckus live email. That would have been smarter. Oh, I got a captcha error. Well, yeah, I can't see it. Come on, man. VFG. Maybe that's it. Ah. I failed to captcha it. Eliminated my password, so. Okay, we got registered. So I need to check my email and confirm it. Okay, we're logged in. So let me do this. Hey, I'm back. There we go. So we're logged in. This is basically what you see. So when you need to download software, whether it be for an ICX, your access point, whatever, this is where you go. So you just click on downloads, choose your product. So typically in your house, you have an R510. And then under your R510, you're going to have the software. It's a BL7 file type. So you would just click on this. This is the latest version. And this you really need to do if you are running 200.5. And this hit the forums yesterday. I think this was the post that Larry put up. He couldn't do the online upgrade in the Unleashed software. So he would go in here to admin and services. And under system, he would go to, no, it was administration. He would go to upgrade. This wouldn't populate. So you have to do a local upgrade. So basically all you do is you go in here and you download this file. Click on, or you just do download software. Save it. And then once it's done, you go in here and you click browse. You go to, oh wait, downloads. Select that file, open it, it'll check it, it'll upload it to the AP. I might have just upgraded this thing. If I did, it's fine. It's running the same software. I'm surprised it didn't squawk at me. There you go. And then you can just say, okay, upgrade it. So verified it, you click on upgrade. So what this does, because in your house you have a mesh, right? And in that mesh you have probably 2 to 3 access points. You're going to upgrade the master first. So the mesh master in there is going to upgrade first. What he's going to do, and I don't remember if it does this before or after it reboots, but after it's going to push that software out to the other access points in your house and they're going to reboot. It can take about, I don't know, 30 minutes, an hour sometimes. You're going to see some weird behavior in your Wi-Fi for a while. Don't worry about it. It's just upgrading everything. It's bringing everything up to the same software. But all you have to do is upgrade one. It'll push the software out to the rest. You're good to go. Okay? It's really super simple and clean. And it's actually one of the cleanest upgrade processes I think I've seen. I mean, it's that simple. Load the software, you're done. So that's it. So you can do a local upgrade if you want. If there's any reason you have to do that, that's the simplest way to do it. Okay? Pretty simple, right? That's it. The first 10 minutes of the stream, and that was it. 11 minutes. That's all it took. So, all right, let's talk about Bonjour Gateway. So I had this grand idea, pie in the sky, that I was going to bring this Apple TV in, the device that I had at home, plug it in, get it ready, show you that it worked. Well, Murphy's live stream law got in the way. So I'm going to show you how to do this. It should work. It's pretty simple. All you're doing is you're just tying MDNS together between 2 VLANs so that they can speak to each other and they can stream that traffic back and forth. Keep in mind, this is for Apple TV. If you share your iTunes library, if you're doing anything like that, you need to have these pieces in there, okay? This works for Chromecast as well, so I know a lot of folks use Chromecast. There's different things you can do. And this one, I called Jesse Yost in a panic this morning. He said, we got to talk about this. And he pulled one slide up and showed me. I was like, oh, okay, now I get it, because it was MDNS. So I had to get a refresher from him. Because I work with awesome people. That's how it is. So all you do in Unleashed is you go to Admin and Services. I'll do this from scratch, right? You're here, Admin and Services, Bonjour Gateway. Now, the thing you have to understand is if you have one VLAN in your house, meaning you haven't configured VLANs anywhere, if you don't even know what a VLAN is, don't worry about this. You don't need to do this. Use Apple TV, use Chromecast. You can stream whatever you want through your house. You should have no issues with that because it's all within the same VLAN. If you're a little bit more advanced, you've created more VLANs, you have things in different areas. I do at my house. Then you probably need to do this. Okay, so what you're going to essentially do is go to Bonjour Gateway and just enable it. Okay, but that's not enough. Now that it's enabled, you need to create an actual rule. Okay, so this rule we're going to call Apple TV. And to give you an example, let's say all of my devices, like my phone, when I go home, it lands on VLAN 10. Okay, all of my IoT devices, things that my setup at home is different, but all the things that I use for IoT, that's on a separate VLAN and it's firewalled off in a firewall. It's in a DMZ. It can't talk to anything else inside my network. So for this, I'm going to say, okay, all of my personal devices, the things that I would want to, stream from or stream to, are on VLAN 10. My Apple TV device is going to be in VLAN 40. So we need to tie VLAN 10 and VLAN 40 together. So we'll just call it Apple TV. We'll give it a name and we'll create a new rule. Okay. And we're going to call this exactly what I said, Apple TV. And we're going to call it from VLAN 10. Oh, wait. Apple TV is in VLAN 40. So it's going to be from VLAN 40 to VLAN 10. And we'll say, okay. That's it. Go to your Wi-Fi networks, edit, advanced. Look at this. We don't even have to turn anything else on because the Bonjour Gateway is there between those two VLANs. The wireless LANs don't even care. They just don't care. Bridge service name. Joe, where'd you see that? Was that in the Bonjour Gateway piece? I probably went too fast. I didn't even notice it. Oh, bridge service. Okay, so I see what you're saying. It is very important because what engineering did when they wrote this software is they built in a list of services, okay? AirDisk, AirPlay, airport management, iTunes sharing, iCloud sync, screen sharing, SSH. All of these things are built in. Google Chromecast. What I mean when they're built in is I mean it includes the TCP and or UDP ports that those services use. So you can put all of that in there and it's there. It's pre-built. You don't have to tweak it. It's all there for you. You don't have to go Google it and say, what ports does Apple TV use? What ports does Chromecast use? You don't need that. You just select the service. Now you can create your own. You can go to other, and then here you would have to put a port in, right? Oops. So say 8884. Or maybe this is for a name. Jesse might have to keep me honest on that one. But yes, those are complete plug and play profiles. So you can go in and whatever service you want, you can call it other, you can call it Spotify if you want. Right? You can put notes in there. Actually, I think this is a port. I thought it was done this way. That is not a Spotify port, by the way. But it took it, so if we go in and edit this now. Something I'm doing isn't saving it. Because you have to save it. Okay, now it's in there. Scroll to the right and save it, okay? And then I can do a create new. Spotify's probably in here. Oh, it's not. Other. Let's see if this will keep it. I don't know if that's how it works. Nope. Oh, xxxx.tcp. Underscore port dot underscore protocol. Oh, I guess it needs a dot at the end of the protocol too. There we go. And then it took it. So you can build your own, whatever service you need to put in there. Now, if you have something like, again, more advanced type of thing, if you're running a Mac or if you have a CentOS box laying around, you can probably do TCP dumps to figure out what isn't communicating correctly, what's being sent but not actually being responded to. You could do that as well. So that is available as well. But you can do this, and then once you say okay, all you have to do is apply it, and it's applied. So that exists now within the system. So it'll bridge those two together. Ours won't do anything, obviously, because we're not tying those two VLANs together in any way. I don't have the VLANs created. But if at home, if I wasn't running MDNS on a firewall, I would have to do something like that to tie those two together. You do it right there in the AP, you're done. So you can make that work. Okay, so it's really handy for whatever services you have. It really depends. If you're an Apple fan, if you're a Google fan, whatever you're using, there you go. You have it. You're done. Okay, pretty clean and simple. Oops, I need to enable it still. Apply. There you go. Now it's applied, it's on, it's working, you're done. You're good to go. And you can go through and do this. You can create as many as you want, tie them together however you want. It works extremely well, and then you're done. Okay, that's really it. That's your Bonjour Gateway. You just have to tie the two VLANs together. Just keep in mind that this is the thing that you have to pay attention to. From VLAN is where it's going to be streaming from. So if it's coming from an Apple TV to your phone, Apple TV lives in VLAN 40. Your phone lives in VLAN 10. It needs to come from VLAN 40 to VLAN 10. Then you should be able to receive the traffic. Okay? Perfect. All right. Now the fun stuff. Wi-Fi calling. I almost recommend doing this whether you think you need to or not. Okay? It will significantly help your cell service. I'm going to set this up at home because I haven't done it yet. So I will do this tonight. I'll live by my own advice. I'll have this set up. I'll be using it. I'm more than happy to pull the data in and take screenshots of it and show you. Because it's going to take a little while for this graph to populate. So doing this would be great. Now, this is something that you can do if you're in a corporate environment. You can do this as well if you're using Unleash there. Especially if people are on the phone a lot during the day. You can do this in Smart Zone as well. We'll do that on the first stream of the first of the year. But what you need, and the reason I wanted to record this, is you need these EPDGs. And I got to remember what EPDG even stands for. It's... oh, maybe it'll tell me in here. You go to Profiles and you go to Create. Okay, Evolve Packet Data Gateway. And what we're going to do is we're going to create this for I'm going to do this for every single carrier I know about. It's AT&T. We'll use Metro PCS. We'll use Sprint. We'll use T-Mobile, and we'll use Verizon. Okay. We're going to use Sprint and T-Mobile because they're still in the middle of a migration, and I don't want you to end up in a position to where you add T-Mobile, you don't add Sprint, and you live in an area where they haven't quite migrated the two together yet, so you're not getting that utilization. So we'll put this together, you'll have it, you'll be good to go. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do this. We're going to do ATT profile. James is watching this going, voice calling URLs. And our quality of service profile is going to be voice. Okay. So we'll create new. And AT&T has multiples, so we're going to use the domain name. I might have to... You can use the IP address as well. I wouldn't recommend doing that. And the reason I say that is typically what the providers or the carriers are going to do is they're going to go in and add multiple endpoints for this traffic, okay? But they have one kind of name that lives out there in the world that you can point to, but there's multiple IP addresses behind it. So one of them might go down, which is the IP address you're pointed to for maintenance or whatever. Your Wi-Fi calling fails while the domain name is still working for all the other ones behind it. So that's why we're going to use the domain name. Okay, it's called a C name in the DNS world. That's what they do is they create C names for all of this and they just tie it all together. So there's multiple IP addresses behind this one domain name. Okay. And this is, I'm going to have to squint because my pictures are kind of small, but oops, I guess I should do that in the right window. All right, so the first one is vvm.mobile.att.net. Okay. So we're going to save that. I'll create a new one because there's multiples for AT&T. Okay, and we'll save that one. Now, this doesn't pick one and then stick with it. It picks the one that works and then it utilizes it. So whichever one's up and alive and working, this is what it's going to use. So your mobile phone connects to Wi-Fi. It's going to establish an IPsec tunnel to one of these servers, and then all of your calls will go over that. Okay. Create new. epdg.epc.att.net. Ah, come on. Save. Okay, AT&T is done. That's what we needed right there, so we're good to go. Yeah, and if your Wi-Fi is saturated, this is extremely useful. So it will benefit you greatly. And just because you think your Wi-Fi isn't saturated, trust me, it probably is. Especially if you live in my house. So, all right, so there's one profile. It's set up, ready to go. Let's do Metro PCS. Okay. So we'll do Metro PCS EPDG profile. And this is voice, so we're going to create new. The domain name is fast.metropcs.com. That's a good name for it. They only have one, so that's all we're going to put in here. Okay. Now we'll create another one. And this one is going to be our Sprint profile. Now, one thing, I'll show you this afterwards too. You'll be able to see what your phones are using when they're using these. Over time, I know that, you know, companies merge and things change and everything differs. Over time, if you see these things kind of die out and the Sprint one in 3 years is gone, you can go in and remove it because it's all been migrated over to T-Mobile's infrastructure. But we don't really know when that happens, when it's going on. So you just kind of have to pay attention to it. That's all. Okay. Whoa. Wrong button. Okay, so here's Sprints, and they just have one. And it's primgw.vowifi2. Phew. Whoa, wait, what? Gateway VO Wi-Fi 2 SPs DNS.net. I'm confused. What's it complaining about? Oh, save. There we go. I keep missing that save button. Thanks, Pierce. Oh, if James, you need to send a URL here. Oh, I need a space in there. There you go. Post away. All right, we got Sprint going. Let's get T-Mobile built. So T-Mobile, we have 2 of them for that one. So T-Mobile EPDG profile. Okay, we'll create new. First domain name for Sprint is m405.536d0.tmods.net. Wow. Create new. My phone is T-Mobile. My work phone is Verizon, so we should see. I'm going to place a call between them and see what happens. 260.mcc310.pub. Oh my goodness. 3gppnetwork.org. I'm gonna have to verify these when we get done and make sure they work. All right, T-Mobile is done. Now we go to Verizon. So did it nuke that one again? Here, James, let me do it again. It gives you a minute, so it's kind of picky. And I probably just... Oh, wait. Let me do this. I can find the right command. Let me do this. Hold on. It deleted your messages, so I can't even see. Oh, he timed them out for 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, James, just shoot a message into chat so that I'll just make you a moderator. I can't do it when you're when you're blocked by Nightbot. Sorry about that. That's kind of funny. You're the first one to get hit with the "you've been bad." I shouldn't laugh. You're trying to help me out, but it's still kind of funny. If it was going to happen to anybody, it was going to be you. We know that for sure. All right, Verizon. So sg.vzw. Okay. Then we have one more. Okay. Profiles are built. That's half of it. So now that the profiles are built, we actually need to apply these to our WLAN. So this is the first part of it. Get the profiles built, get them in there. Then once you have that done, you go into your Wi-Fi network. We'll go to Ruckus Live and we'll go to Edit. Okay. We go to Advanced Options and then, is it Others? No. No. Wi-Fi calling. Enable. Edit. We're going to take all of them. Whoops. Doesn't matter what order they're in. So there we go. Okay. It has been enabled. So now we go to Admin and Services. We can go to Wi-Fi calling, and this is where we'll see traffic for the last hour. Which right now we probably won't see anything. So let me make sure that I've got two phones here. Let me make sure they're both on the right wireless networks. Okay, that one is. I think this one is too. Let me make sure. It is. They both are. Okay, so I don't know the phone number to that phone. So let me call myself real quick and see if I can generate some. Okay. It's ringing. That's a good thing. Oh, where did I do that? You go Wi-Fi networks. You go to your network. You go to Edit. You go to Advanced Options. You go to Access Control. Go to the bottom, and then when you enable it, then you hit the Edit button, and they should be listed here. And then you just select them and hit it, move them over. If you don't have that, let me know. That'd be a little odd. Okay, so there's one other gotcha. You have to make sure, and I think the reason why I might not get traffic on this right now is because it's probably not turned on this other phone. Is because you have to do something on your phone. So let me find... Okay, cool, Joe. I'm glad you got it. iPhone mirror. Okay, we are going to go into settings. And we're going to go down here to cellular. And see where it says Wi-Fi calling? Ours is turned off. So we need to turn it on. And we'll enable it. And I don't know what this is going to ask me, so we're going to learn together. Ah, 911. Okay. I don't know if I have a stalker. I don't, by the way. I'm the guy with the face for radio that has his face on a live stream right now, so. Westminster, Colorado. Whoops. I don't even know my zip code. Okay, so do the 911 part because you want 911 to be able to find you. That's important. And I'm hitting continue and it's not doing anything. It's frozen. There we go. spg.vzw.com. The operation timed out. Okay, so... Oh, wait. It updated. But I'm getting a timeout on one of these URLs. So let's see if I screwed one up. spg.vzw.com, the operation timed out. I wonder if there's another one in here that I don't have. Oh, you need the right screen. So this is what this is telling me. Let me get back here to the right place. That's what it's telling me. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this into the Verizon profile and see if that fixes it. So let's do this. right here in Verizon. We're going to go edit. I don't know if this is going to work. I really don't. But I'm going to do spg.vzw.com. Save. Okay. I shouldn't have to do anything. We'll just update that. Now I'm going to try the phone again. Hey, it took it. So there you go. So if it does pop up any kind of error there, we should be fine. Okay. All right, let's make a phone call. Again, all my stalkers don't get my phone number. Okay, it's ringing, and it rang a heck of a lot faster than it did last time, so that's good. Okay. Well, yeah, so for Android, you don't have to set the address in the Android. What all you're doing when you enable Wi-Fi calling is it's reaching out because it has carrier services installed on the phone. So it's basically just reaching out, seeing if it can hit its EPDG gateway. And in that one, it failed. So I just added it to the profile here and boom, it took off right away. So if you do get that error, you just add it into your profile in Unleashed and it should pick it up. Now, one thing I know for certain, reporting in here is a little bit delayed. And that delay is natural and normal. So I'll just place a couple calls back and forth. I might even send a couple of text messages back and forth between them because it's going to be iMessage, but I'll go ahead and message them anyways. Maybe I'll answer just to see. Okay, so we've got a phone call established. It's there. It's working. I can hear myself talking through it. Okay, I'll hang up. Now I'm going to send a text message too. And it got the text message. So traffic's going back and forth between them. I just want to see it show up in our dashboard. And the time frame won't matter. But it's going to take a bit. So we'll just kind of sit here and chat about the world. Now there is, if you look in, I'm not going to pull the document up because honestly probably don't need to, but in the Smart Zone, I think it's in the administration guide. It could be in the config guide too. There is a list of other gateways in there. So if you need more, you can access that document and pull it. It's out there. So you can get access to it as well. And I'll go through this more after the first of the year when we do the Smart Zone one. That'll be on a Wednesday. We'll go ahead and build that out, get that working, show you the same thing. Hey, there you are. Let me mod you real quick, James. I don't know. I don't know the right command. Tell her, hey, I'm calling you. It's important. James, hang on a second. Let me find the right nightbot. Actually, I think I can do it this way. I can ban you. You want me to do that? Okay, there you are. Now you're a moderator, so you can post all the links you want, which I appreciate because you're always helping me out. All right, let me do this. I'm going to call. Now what I'm going to do, actually, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to call Mr. Richter. So, James, you don't have to answer the phone. I'm just going to call you because I want to get... Oh, I'm in the wrong place. I just want to get a call going out to you. Recents, because I just talked to you yesterday. Yeah. Okay, so that worked. He answered, so I know my phone's working. We're just getting delays in it being reported, so it's not pulling the data right away. I think it kind of has to compile it and get it put together. So we'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, and my phone is on Wi-Fi. It's on the correct Wi-Fi network. Yep, it's on, because I can, well, let's make sure I'm not being an idiot. There should be 2 clients in here. Yep, both of my phones are in here. They have an excellent connection. And just to be triple sure, make sure, yeah, Wi-Fi calling is on both devices. Yeah. Come on, don't let me down. Oh, who else can I call? I need to call somebody that won't answer. I know what I'll do. I'll call my friend Joe. He always loves it when I call him. Joe, if you're out there, don't answer the phone. Yeah, so I mean, it's calling out. Oh, there we go. Look, we got one. Awesome. That's what I like to see. So now here's a cool thing. It's going to show you what service it was using, the carrier. So I know for sure the carrier for my work phone is Verizon. I know the carrier for my phone is T-Mobile. So I'm curious to see when this thing kind of catches up and it starts reporting this out, it's going to show me. So it'll show this part. It'll show you the traffic session, uplink, downlink, so you can see how much traffic's going through it. Once you do it, then it also is going to show you the AP max. So if you do have a mesh and you have multiple access points, this will show you which AP it went through. You know, I mean, you probably already know which one it's connected to in the house anyways, but this gives you that information. So it's pretty slick. But like I said, the reporting's a little bit slow. So if you want to measure something right now like we're trying to do, it's not probably going to do you a whole lot of good. But here you go. Now you can see the SSIDs it's using. You can see the gateway that it used. So you can see all of this. And it will catch up over time. So it's pretty slick, huh? Now, obviously, because I'm not very smart, I named both of my iPhones the same thing. So I can't differentiate it. But I can because I know which carrier it's using. But you can see it in here. So it's pretty darn slick. So if you have this at home, use it, especially with your kids are at home, your spouse is at home, you're at home, everybody's working, your Wi-Fi is getting taxed. I promise you, there's probably a lot of traffic in there. And this uses what's called quality of service. Now, the one thing I don't know is what... So according to a friend of mine that looked at this the other night, this is going to be nerd jargon, and I know that, so this might be a little bit more advanced, but... the QoS queues that this uses is AF31, which in the priority scale is low. So they don't really try to put that traffic above all else, but it still gets it in a queue so that it will be handled before everything else that's not queued. So if you're not queuing anything else, and even if it's low, it's probably going to process your phone call before anything else, because most people don't build QoS in their house. Why would you? You have to have QoS built the same way on the next hop and all throughout the path of what you're connecting to, so it wouldn't do you any good. But with this, it's using a tunnel. So in that tunnel, it can prioritize things however it wants. Okay. Let's see. Let me refresh this again. I wonder if this is capturing it because I called and let it stay up. So let me do this. I'm just going to call myself again. I'm going to leave the phone call up. That's the other thing, is it has to record the call. I'll mute that so I can't hear. So we'll leave it up. We'll see how much traffic is on there. I'll leave the phone call up for 20-25 seconds, and then we'll see when it comes back up what it comes back with. So let's see. Yeah, James, thank you for providing all of that. Guys, if you ever have any doubt how hard content developers work, stop right now, because he's proving to you how deep and depth they have to go into this stuff to get everything put into training material. And the reason why it looks as great as it does is because these guys go in and dig all of that information out of there. Look, I'm a moron and I know it. I don't know everything. I will never pretend to know everything. But I know that we have an awesome team of people that work on this stuff day in and day out and develop it. So if I get stuck and pinched in a corner, they're the first people I go to. Hey, what about this? You know what I mean? So it's awesome. And Pierce as well. I mean, he's going to be on a live stream with me here after the first of the year when we go through some CloudPass stuff. And, you know, it's just the fortunate level of the people that you work with and the knowledge set that they have is at times a little scary and very humbling too. So don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. And Joe, you're nothing to slouch at either. So don't even give me the guilt trip that I didn't bring you up. All right, let's see if this thing will refresh again. He is. Oh, there it is. There's the other one. Voice. So this one was a little bit longer. Show some different traffic in there. But you can see it. So this will slowly start to populate. And it will make all of your Wi-Fi calling, phone calls, messages, everything works so much better. So it's really, really slick. So I know what I'm doing tonight. I'm going to have to go back and pull all this info and check it out. So, oh, well, let's do this. Since James is nice enough, I'm going to go in, since it's on here. Edit. Let's take this one. We'll edit it. SGVZW. Copy this and make sure that it's correct. Because the notes I had were really, really small. WOVZW. Edit. Save. That one, I think it shows you which one it uses, but I'm going to snag this one and throw it in there too. Create new. Save. Okay. Okay, so they're all in there. So if I go to summary now, it should show you which, I thought it showed you which one it used. Oh yeah, WOVZWO.com. Now, I think I might have an issue with the T-Mobile one because I don't see it showing up in here. I might have mistyped that one. All right, T-Mobile. Make this picture bigger. Oh, I can. M405536D0, I'm assuming. TMODNS.net. EPDG.EPC.MNC260.MC310.pub.3GPPnetwork.org. Those are all right. So I don't know why the T-Mobile one isn't popping in there. I might have it wrong. Yeah, and James, you're right. It just looks for traffic on a port destined for there, and then it just tries to prioritize it. So the T-Mobile one I might have wrong. And I think I do because it's not actually showing up in here. The Verizon one is, but it's not. And my phone is set up to use Wi-Fi calling. I mean, it's built, but I just can't get to it. So I'm not really sure why, but I don't know. Let me do this. All right, I'll send a text message. So what about this? What if I put it in airplane mode? And hey, Nix, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. So if I put this thing in airplane mode but leave Wi-Fi on, then it should still use calling at that point, right? So let's do that to test it, or I'll just turn the carrier off. I'll do it. I just have to make sure it latches onto the right network. So let's see what happens here. Okay, so I'm on the right network. Now let's call myself again. Actually, you know what? My son just called me, and he just followed because he's awesome. So let me FaceTime him and see if that goes through there as well. Oh, FaceTime is through Apple, though. That's a different service. So I'll just call myself again. Sorry, kiddo. I'll call you when I get done. Okay, mute this, mute this. Yeah. Yeah, Apple services, that's going to be a little bit different. If I had somebody with an Android, I guess I could text my sister. She has one. She calls my phone a fruity phone because she doesn't like Apple. And Brian's in the same boat. He doesn't like them either. So, all right, let's see if this works. Who do I have in here that has an Android that I can bug? Oh. My buddy Ronnie. I'm going to send him a text. All right, let's see what happens. So that thing is off. Oh, look at that. So, James, I think you're right. It was kind of picking up just the carrier stuff. And now the T-Mobile one got used. And it used this one. So I know it's in there correctly. Yeah, exactly. They do handle 1X really well. Really, Joe? I just called you and it looked like it was an iPhone. Am I way off? Oh, it is a phone. All right, well, I'm calling you now. So there we go. It's starting to populate, right? Because I can tell this came from mine. So we're starting to see it build up, which I like. But T-Mobile has it built to where even with Wi-Fi calling on, it's still using the carrier. And I don't know how it determines that. I mean, if it wants to keep it on network with them, that's one thing. But I don't think you can really control that. And the thing I wonder about is, what if your cell service is so weak that you need to use Wi-Fi calling? You know what I mean? That's the tough part. So I'm not really sure how they would go about that and handle it. Because if I have absolutely terrible cell service where I'm at, but the carrier settings prefer it to stay on the carrier network with Wi-Fi calling on or not, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So I guess you could throw it in airplane mode and then force it through Wi-Fi calling. That's an option as well. So it's just stuff to keep in mind when you're doing it. You know what I mean? All right. So I'm going to take it off of that. So at least now we tested it. We know that our carrier profiles are correct. So you can use what we built here on the stream today, and it should take it and everything should work fine. So you should be good there. I talk too much. I need some water. Okay. Yep. Joe, you're right. You just verify the host name of the profile, make sure Wi-Fi calling is on your phone, and then make sure that it's turned on in the WLAN. So those are the three things that you need to do. And I'm so happy that James is putting all this stuff in here, because I took screenshots of his screen because he has this set up and built, and my screenshots were kind of small. So I'm old and my eyes don't work very well. So there we go. Let me refresh this again. So over time, as this goes, it'll continue to build and build and build. I mean, data's great, but you kind of need a runway to let this stuff run and build up. And once it runs and builds up, then you get awesome data in here. And like I said, this is really slick because we can see everything that's going on. The thing that kind of sucks is I use T-Mobile. So when I go home and build this, I'm not sure how much it would get utilized. So, but you know what, James? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to edit my profile just because you were kind enough to do this. And I'm going to copy and paste what you just put in here and make sure that they're correct. So this should give everybody in the house awesome calling ability, right? Nothing's more frustrating than being on the phone. It's 2020. It's almost 2021. And there's enough to be said about the year as it is, but nothing frustrates me more than when you're sitting there trying to talk to somebody and it just and yeah, I hate it. So, and I've worked for a wireless company before. All right. What else? Anything else you guys want covered? You think we kind of got through it all? I think so. Like I said, this will be a video on demand. I'll put it on YouTube. It'll go in the Ruckus at Home playlist. It'll go in the live stream playlist. We'll also put it probably just, I mean, if there's an Unleashed playlist, I'll put it in there as well. But this is the last stream we're doing for the year. I know everybody's taking time off. Next Thursday, I think, is Christmas Eve anyways. So whether you celebrate it, whether you don't, the New Year's coming. So, you know, call your family, hug your family, tell them you love them. Come back next year right after the first of the year. I guess I could look at a calendar. I'm not sure what the dates are. It would be Thursday, January 7th. We'll be right back here. And I'll also be back here on Wednesday, January 6th. That will be another live stream day. We'll be doing that. It should be tons of fun. Wednesdays, we're going to do more of the Smart Zone, bigger ICX stuff. We might revisit some Ansible stuff later when they get some additional modules built, things like that. There's also a lot of great stuff coming next year. We've got some awesome roadmap items. So we'll go through all of that, get all of that stuff working. It should be a good time. So as always, I can't thank you guys enough for joining. It's, you know, the whole reason we do this is so that we can interact with you, work on this stuff, and then have this information out there and available. So can't thank you enough for joining. I hope everybody has a great holiday. Hope you get some time off, get to relax. And yeah, come back next year. We'll be right here. See you later.